Hello everyone, Castle Queenside here. Today we have another great game on our hands. This one was played between Jose Raul Capablanca, the legend himself, who was playing with white, and Souza Mendes, who was playing with black pieces. This game was played in 1927 as a part of simultaneous exhibition match, and at the time Capablanca was a world champion. He lost the title the same year to Alexander Alekhine. And as you all know, in simultaneous exhibition matches there is a lot of crazy moves and crazy sacrifices, and this is one of those games, especially having in mind that Capablanca is playing. So without further ado, we will go straight into the game. So the game started with e4 for Capablanca and b6 for Souza Mendes, so this is Owen's defense. d4 and bishop b7, bishop d3 for Capablanca, and now e6 for black. Knight f3 for Capablanca and c5 for black, striking in the center. Castle kingside for white, and c takes on d4 for the black. Knight retakes this pawn, and knight e7 was played for the black. Knight c3, developing move for Capablanca, and knight g6 for black. Bishop e3 and bishop c5 was played, pinning this knight and possibly wanting to exchange these dark squared bishops. And queen h5 was played by Capablanca. Computer sees this move as an inaccuracy and recommends knight d to b5. So this is the move recommended by the computer. Of course, this is not a terrible move. So the black continued with castle. Rook a to d1 was played for Capablanca, and bishop now taking this knight. The bishop retakes, and knight c6 was played for the black, developing move and attacking this dark squared bishop, who is starting to get kind of scary looking at the black king. Bishop e3 was played, obvious move, you want to save the bishop pair. And now e5 was played for black, which is a blunder by the computer. Computer recommends, instead of going on e5, recommends knight b4, so moving this knight and attacking this white squared bishop. Of course, the black idea was to just strike in center to take more space. That is the reason why this move was played. And now bishop c4 was played by Capablanca. The computer recommends rook d2, but this is a computer deep calculations, and we cannot say that this move is especially bad. It's a human move pretty much, pinning this pawn, and that is why the king move on h8. Another inaccuracy by the computer, and computer recommends rook going on c8 was the best for black. And now rook d6 was played for the white. Capablanca uses the advantage and takes space with his pieces. Queen e7 was played, and now recommended move by the computer was rook d2, so moving this rook back on d2 was the best move. And rook f to d1 was played by Capablanca. Computer sees this as a mistake because black has a knight d4 move. After this, the white can continue with knight b5, and after bishop c6, the knight will take this knight, e takes on d4, and rook takes on d4 would be the position that would transpire after this move for black. Now this position is clearly better for white, and computer evaluates it as well, so probably that is one of the reasons why black didn't want to play this line. So after rook f on d1, the black continued with rook a goes on d8. A mistake by the computer. Again, computer recommends the same knight d4 move. And now bishop g5 was played for Capablanca. Computer sees this as a mistake and still recommends rook 6 going on d2 just because of the knight d4 threat. Computer just doesn't like that line, but this is a human move, pinning and attacking this queen. The black responds with f6, which is a good move. After f6, we are in the first crucial position of the game. In this position, the Capablanca decides to play queen taking on g6. So this is a blunder marked by the computer, and the computer sees a line that can defend from the white's attacks, and I will show you this line, of course. So the game continued with h taking on g6 and rook 6 on d3. Right now, rook h3 is a checkmate, so already a checkmate threat is in front of the black. So the black decides to cut off this diagonal by playing rook f7, which is a bad move. and black had a better option in this position, and I will show you why. So after rook 6 on d3, the best move for black was d5. The game would continue with rook h3 check, king g8, knight taking on d5, rook d5, bishop d5 check, rook f7, bishop e3, protecting this attacked and vulnerable bishop, knight b4 for the black, attacking this bishop as well, bishop takes on f7, and king takes on f7 with a better position and a material advantage for black. So this was the line that could be played by the black, but of course black couldn't find it. And after rook f7, the game continued with beautiful knight d5. Right now the black queen is under attack, and the black decided to play queen c5, which is a huge blunder and gives a forced checkmate to the white. One of the moves that worked for the black was queen e6. We will see this line, so the game would continue with knight taking on f6, g takes on f6, bishop takes the queen, d takes on e6, rook takes on d8 check, knight takes on d8, rook takes on d8 check, king g7, bishop has to retreat right now, and bishop takes on e4, and this would be the position that would transpire after this line. So the black could play for the draw and could play for the win. The computer evaluates this position as a small advantage for black. Of course this wasn't played, so because queen c5 was played, this allowed white to checkmate the black king and create an astonishing attack. So the game continued with rook h3 check, the king is forced to go on g8, and right now another sacrifice by Capablanca, and that is knight takes on f6. In the game, king f8 was played. As this was one of the only moves for the black in this position, I will show you why. So after knight f6, if the black decides to go g takes on f6, then after bishop takes on f6, there is no difference from the rook h8 checkmate. As you can see it yourself, anything that black does cannot save him. For example, if he tries d5, I'm just giving an example, there is a checkmate here. He can try sacrifice his queen here just to prolong this game a little bit more, but this was one of the moves that basically wins this game. So yeah, this is why g taking on f6 was not an option, and the game continued after king f8, rook h8 check, the king goes on e7, and rook e8 check, rook takes on e8, and a beautiful rook d7 check. The king is forced to go on one free field, which is f8, and the game finished with beautiful rook f7 checkmate. So after the black king went on e7, there is another line I want to show you, even prettier than this one. So after the king went on e7, there is another move, and that is knight g8, a double check for the white. The king is forced to go on the 8th rank, so he goes on e8. We continue with knight h6 check, and whatever the black does right now, we have the same checkmate. So for example, if he go rook f8, we have a bishop f7, a beautiful checkmate, almost smothered checkmate, but with bishops. And after queen f8, the same rule applies, bishop takes on f7, checkmate. So this was all for today's game, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it, but this is not the end of the video, and right now it's chess puzzle time. Welcome back, guys. So this is the today's puzzle, and we are to play as white, and we need to find a move that equalizes our game. We will take a look at the position. So as you can see, we are a pawn down from the position, nothing is hanging, at least now, from our side, and we need to find the best move that can equalize the game. At the moment we don't have any checks as well, as far as I can see, so nothing is forced here, nothing can be done forced. Nothing is free for taking. This is defended, and I don't know if there is anything else for taking, so this pawn also is good for taking, but it's not free. However, we might have a look at that move. So in case we take this pawn, can black take our bishop? So let's see what would happen. If we take here, if the black takes, then we have queen g6 check. The king is forced to go on h8. We continue with knight g4 check, bishop h6, and rook takes on h6 is a checkmate. So this is one of those moves that can use us and can benefit us. So this is the solution to the puzzle. Bishop taking on g6, as this is a free pawn. The black cannot retake our bishop, so we grab a free pawn and we equalize the game. The game would probably continue with rook a7, something like this, which afterwards we can return our bishop to e4 and we have an equal game. So we equalize the game. Right now their king is a lot weaker and we can maybe move our knight to f3 and start attacking this king. So this was all for today's game and today's puzzle, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a comment, like and subscribe. This would mean a lot to me as I'm trying to grow my channel and trying to make this a primary source of my income. I want this to make my living. So thank you for all of your continuous support up until now. It was really great and I'm truly thankful. Thank you so much and see you next time in another game. Bye bye.